We're doing a Q&A part 2 because I got like 20 questions from this one person and I wanted to go through and answer them. Again, I won't be saying their name because they have asked me not to. So let's just get into it because we got a lot of questions. Okay, so the first question is, do you have fun videos coming soon? The answer to that is yes. Fun videos are coming soon. I actually right now, one that I worked really hard on titled A Day in the Life with Beans, or with me Beans. And out, that's really fun. I have a video coming soon of turning tips, because I am like really good at turns. Like literally, I never did a full turn in my life until this one day in dance class, and the teacher literally afterwards went up to my dad when we were leaving, and she went like, your daughter is amazing at turns. Like she's at professional level." And it was just I almost cried because I was so happy. And so fun videos coming soon. And next question. Oh, this is a nice one. How are you feeling about losing your crush? The answer is not good. Thank you for acting like that. So nice of you. If you're watching, thank you. Not good. I really do miss him, and it's just been hard. Like getting ready for the holidays have been hard because it's just making me think about like, oh, I'm not with him. So yeah, not good at all. I almost didn't want to get out of bed this morning until my dad turned up the volume all the way up on the echo, and he dropped in on me all the way up. This one's a hard one. And who do you like more, mom or dad? And the answer to that is, I don't have an answer. I like them equally. I love them equally. Only the thing is that they're very different. Like they both have their flaws, but they both have like their things that I like about them. Like my mom thing is that she wants to be involved in my life at all times. She's not the type that will if she were to maybe calm down and let her be in my life, is that she doesn't understand, she doesn't want me going through that teenage time of where I don't want like my mom in my life all the time. She doesn't want that, and because she doesn't want that, she's constantly acting like she wants to know every detail going on in my life. And all of that, and that can be annoying, but like she's really nice and she's done a lot of really great things for me. And then like with my dad, his biggest flaw, I feel like, is the fact that if he gets angry, he gets angry. Like he turns into like a monster almost, it seems. Like, and my mom even said this sometimes. No, and he doesn't understand it in the moment. And then he'll look back on it later and be like, wait, I got a little too angry. And like this happened a long time ago, where I genuinely thought I broke my tailbone. Here's what happened. My dog essentially peed. At the time, my dog was little. Like, my dog Sam, he was little. We just got him. He wasn't even 5 months old yet. Like, he was little. And so we were still training him. Like, about, like, you can't pee inside the house, different. Well, he peed inside the house. And I went to clean it up. At first, I didn't see it, like the issue. I didn't see it at all at first. And I slipped in it. I slipped in it, fell back, landed on my tailbone, and thought I broke it. I was crying. And I don't usually cry in pain, so, like, that's saying something. And, like, I'll cry about, like, certain things if I'm, like, really upset or something. And then I'll, like, look back on it, like, after, like, 30-ish minutes. And it's gonna be, like, dumb. Like, then, here's what I look back on. And, yeah, like, basically, and it says that. And then, like, it's a hot mess thing. And so, a few days later, it was still hurting. We cleaned up the pee, don't worry. And it was still hurting, and I was taking, like, medicine. We didn't go to the hospital, by the way, because that's my parents. They're not the type that, if it's been more than a week and it hasn't changed, or if it gotten worse, then we'll, like, go to the hospital, but other than that, we won't. And so basically then, so it was, like, 2 days later, and my mom started bringing up that we might go to the doctor if it's continuing this way. Well, I was in an argument about something, and I remember, about picking a closet, because when we lived with my sister, which is where we lived at the time, my parents made this unfair thing where I basically didn't get a closet. Like, at first the plan was for them to take the closet in my room because it's bigger, it makes more sense. I don't have a lot that I use my closet for. And I had a good sized closet still, but I was gonna have the closet in their room because of the fact that like it was working out best. Also, our rooms were right next door, and the only thing in my closet were like hang up dresses, and basically I threw a fit about it or something, and because they didn't follow through with the deal, they kind of took both closets and said, oh, I had one to myself, but I didn't. Like, it was this thing, I threw a fit about it, and then at the end, I started crying a little more and saying that, like, my tailbone hurt, and my dad went like, oh, it's fine, like, got so dramatic, and my mom told him to go give me medicine. And so we did. Don't worry, it's non-prescription. And it's fine. And stuff that I had before. And he went, it wasn't that he didn't believe me. It was that he went like, oh, she can get up and go in there with me to take the medicine. Like, just so fit, and it was enough. So my parents both have flaws. But they both are amazing, and I love them equally. Like, so I could never choose, because I love them both equally. Okay, we gotta get through these questions, because my phone's gonna die. What is your biggest thing you want for Christmas? I'm gonna say... So, okay. I'm gonna say two different things. And I'm gonna say the biggest item that I want. And then the biggest thing overall that is probably not gonna happen that I want. So the biggest item on my list is a JoJo Siwa hoverboard. Why? Because I never been into hoverboards. I never really went like, oh, I want one. But now I'm like, that they make JoJo ones, I'm like, I kind of think that could be cool. Now that I fully know what they are and stuff. Now the biggest thing that probably won't happen that I want for Christmas, if this does happen, this will be the best Christmas ever. For me anyways. And to see my crush. That's literally what I want. Like, that's my biggest overall thing. But the hoverboard is the biggest thing. I just really want to see my crush. And I'm going to show you how many like questions we have. Like, we literally, so like all of these. Favorite YouTuber? The answer is Success with Jess. And it is JoJo Mom's podcast. That is my favorite YouTuber. JoJo would be next to that. But I say that over JoJo because I was with JoJo Mom. I actually learned about the Siwa family. I learned things about different people. Versus with JoJo, I don't. Okay. Favorite movie? Ooh, this one's interesting. I feel like it's a good, like, simple one, but it's interesting. Right now, I would probably, that one's tough. Because here's the thing, I'm horrible at picking movies. Now, what I mean by that is that, my dad complains about this all the time. How I am the type that I'm like, pick something good. And or like pick something that you think I'll like. And then it's not that I'm horrible at it, it's that he makes it so difficult. And no, he'll like name like 6 or 7 that I like. And I'm like, well, just pick one of them, you know. Oh, and then he's like, well, I'm still looking. Then we'll look through like 5 or 6 that I don't like, and he knows I don't like Artemis Fowl or what's it called? I'm trying Race to Witch Mountain, or there was one other, and I feel like Tomorrowland, that's what it is. Like, and then he'll pick one that he knows I don't like, and then I'll be like, you know I don't like that. And he's like, well then what do you want to watch? And I'm like, I told you, you named 6 or 7 that I like. Pick from them, and I'm cool. Like, he makes it so difficult. But if I had to ultimately pick a movie that is like my favorite movie of all time, would be Blur. I really like Blur. I know it got, no, I've seen some people on like like on the comments of like the YouTube channel saying that the movie wasn't like what they were thinking and that wasn't really the greatest. But then I also saw a lot of good feedback. I like it. Because I'm not picky when it comes to movies. My dad thinks I am. Okay, we're gonna do this next one. We're doing all of them, by the way. Do you always reply? And the answer is yes. I will always reply to my fans if it's something that's not inappropriate or that I don't think is not good. You know, like if it's something that I think I shouldn't be saying or that you shouldn't be commenting or like DMing me, then I'm not going to reply. I'm probably just going to block you. But if it's something like good, then I always reply. So don't be afraid to reply to me. I never get people replying to me. Well, sometimes. Do you have a favorite fan? The answer is no. Not really. Right now, it's kind of like here's the thing. I love all my fans. I love all of them so much. But right now, I do kind of have a favorite fan. The reasoning is because this person actually, like, DM'd me. Actually, like, is an active fan. Like, you know, they like my photos. They like my videos. Like, they DM me. So it's nothing up against you. It's just, like, I love all of my fans. And the person I'll name at the end. But yeah. The only reason I picked them is because they're an actual fan and that they actually, like, are very active with my stuff and they actually DM me and they really want me to succeed, and that's really all I matter. Like, if you don't, like, DM me and stuff, it's fine. It's just that right now the person really is my favorite fan because they are constantly DMing me and different things. And at one point I thought that I didn't really like that. But then I learned that, like, because they do at a good amount. Like, where it's not, like, every 2 seconds, but it's, like, a good amount. This one is an interesting question. And that I feel bad about. Can you tell us more about merch? Okay. And the answer to that is no, unfortunately not. I can't tell you more about merch. I can tell you that it's coming soon. Yeah, we're just gonna move on. Favorite things about your crush? Oh, that one. Everything. I'm literally gonna say everything, and I know that's the most generic, basic answer, but that's true. I don't have one thing about my crush that I don't like. Like, he's literally, like, first up, he's really nice. Like, he's really nice, really kind. He's always been nice, and that makes sense. If you are nice to him, and you don't, like, start making up things or being rude, you know, he's gonna be nice back. And at one point, I actually thought he had a crush on someone, and he didn't. Which was a win for me, no, because of how nice of a person he is. Like, genuinely. So there was this one girl, and he kept, like, just, like, being really nice. She was in music class. She was actually quite young, so that was throwing me off a little. Well, and he was just being really nice, and, like, cause basically, so here's how it worked. In music class, it wasn't on purpose, I don't think, but a lot of the time, me and the one girl and the one other, like, little boy, you know, would always be, like, the ones that would be left out. So often, like, we would be doing an activity, and then we would get left out or something. Well, my crush would make sure that didn't happen. And no, he would, I brought it up to someone that was essentially doing it one day. He was like, hey, we need to stop leaving Lolly, and, like, said these other two people, I forget your names, out because it's unfair. And, like, so he's generally a nice person, and there were just so many signs that, like, I thought he had a crush on her. And then one day it hit me that it wasn't real. Because there was no sign, like, official sign, like, oh, I never overheard him say, like, oh, I like the girl or something. It was always just him being nice, if that makes sense. And I also have trained my mind to, like, think in that way of, like, if I think he has a crush on someone, I don't. I love everything about my crush. We would be here for years if filming this if I answered told you everything. Next question, what is your favorite song? Right now, my favorite song, ooh, that's a hard one. I feel like it would, okay, we're gonna do categories because doing an overall one is really hard. I'm gonna say my overall, like, so we're doing two categories, holiday and just general. So my general overall favorite song is Number One You by JoJo Siwa. I love Number One You. A close second would be Nonstop because I love Nonstop, like the music video and everything. But I like the concept of Number One You because it's like, it's talking about that you're the number one you and stuff. Now, my favorite holiday song right now, it is, we're gonna do an original and then a cover because, let's face it, I don't want, I'm the type that a lot of songs that I learn about, like there's so many, like, Where Are You Christmas? I never watched the original music video to Where Are You Christmas. But I know the lyrics because we'll listen to it, like, on radio. But also because of the fact that, like, I listened to JoJo's cover of it. But I say that's probably my favorite, like, cover of, like, a holiday song. My favorite cover of, like, a regular song. That was a tough one. I'm gonna pass on that because I don't really know what it would be. And then my favorite holiday song is, wait. I'm trying to think of what it's called. Drat, what is it called? Christmas Now. Christmas Now by JoJo Siwa. It's a remix of her song High Top Shoes. But those are some songs that I really love. Also, you can check out any of my playlists and you will find songs I like, but you won't find JoJo's on there because JoJo's video, for some reason, and have the thing where you can't put them, like, on playlists, and it's really annoying. What would you do if... I want to see them. What would you do if someone you love is bad? Okay. That's a good question. If someone you love was bad, what would you do? Or, honestly, it depends on what you mean by bad. I'm gonna say two different ways. If it's bad by, like, they're sending hate and they're sending hate and they're bullying you and stuff, then honestly, you don't really, in that case, I would say, just block them. Block them out of your life if you can, and if you can't block them out of your life completely, don't get yourself involved with them. I've been in that situation, so I can give you advice. Now, if you mean, and also it means that they don't, usually it means that they don't really love you. Even if you're like family or something, they probably don't like you if they're willing to bully you and send hate towards you. Now, if you mean by bad, like they did something bad and they continuously do, then tell an adult, unless you're an adult and you can handle it, and if it's something illegal, I don't know what to do in that case. Like, tell an adult, and like, I look it up because I don't know in that case. Now, if it's something that's not illegal, well, obviously you should call the cops. That makes the most sense. If it's illegal and they shouldn't be doing it. And yet, now, if it's not illegal but not good, then, like, who cares? Who cares about them? Move on is what I say. Because, like, if they're continuously doing the one bad thing and you told them that it's not good, then unless you love them, then forget about them is what I say. If you love them and they're like family that you love, then search it because I can't help you there. That's your options that I would. How do you, oh wait. Who do you love the most? My crush. I would rather be honest here than lie. And what is your favorite thing to film? My favorite thing to film? Ooh, that's hard. I really like filming Q&A because like they're simple and I don't have to put a lot of effort into them, and it also allows you guys to know more about me. Like with Q&As with fan questions, like this one, and that's something that's really fun to film. I want to say sometimes Beans videos. Like Beans videos can sometimes be really fun to film. And then sometimes they're like really annoying to film. And what I mean by that is like, for me, doing Beans is amazing. Beans is a YouTube character I do. And it's amazing and it's fun, but sometimes, like, I always end up liking the end result, but sometimes the actual filming part is annoying, but sometimes I get into it and I just love it, and like, I just don't want to stop filming it because I'm having so much fun filming it, you know? So those would be my top two. But they also take a lot more effort. So like if I had to pick one that takes a lot of effort, it would be Beans video. But if I could just pick something overall, it would be fan questions or Q&A. Oh wait. How do you deal with hate? That's a good question. Okay, it depends on the type. If it's hate, like fan hate, or like haters hate, is what I mean. Like if it's like hate coming from Instagram or like TikTok or YouTube, which I never had that before. Like, don't get me wrong, I've never really been in a situation with that. But if it's hate from like overall, like someone that I've seen in person, then I just try to ignore it, block it out. And even if I did get like hate like off of Instagram or TikTok or something, and I laugh at it, that's kind of my thing, is that I look at it and I do read it because like that's something that it gives me a good joke to laugh at, because I know that they're just jealous of me. Like they can say that they're not all they want, but in reality they're jealous, and that jealousy just got to them, and you have what they want. So just ignore it. And if you can't, just ignore it when you can, and just do whatever it takes to stand up for yourself, even if it makes other people mad. Okay, this is a good question. Why do you love Sam so much? Honestly, this is a good question. Sam is my dog. He is not in here right now. Generally, I love him so much because first off, he's mine. That's something that's special to me, that I never had a pet before my dog Sam. He's my thing. I get to take care of him and stuff. So that's a big part. But also, he's like that friend that just never leaves. I can play with him anytime. Anytime that he is not sleeping or eating. Or else he will growl at me. Because he likes his food and he likes to sleep. Or if I'm annoying him. But, he's like my friend that I can always play with, I can always go up and just play with him and throw his toy. And, I know he loves me. He's just always gonna love me anyway. That, no one else can, because he's, my pet. He's my baby. Yeah, I love my baby. Okay. What would you do if someone you love was not doing anything for your music video? Okay. I've been in this with Bella. With it, you gotta think about it. If someone you love is supposed to be doing something in your music video, I would say take charge first up. You can't throw things on other people when you are doing a music video. It's fine to give people jobs, but it's most important that you handle it and you're in charge, and that people know that you're in charge. Then let's say yeah, and if they're not really doing their job, then you have two options. You can either really think about it, and if you can't have them doing it, don't let them do the music video. That's one option. Second option, give them a couple warnings and be like, hey, you have to do this job by this day, or else, and then throw them out. Or option 3, you can just have a serious talk with them. That's what I did with Bella. Next question. Okay, wait, let's see. Do you love your life? Because you sound like you don't. The funny thing about that is that's so accurate. It's not that I don't love my life, because I have a really great life. I love life. Life is good, but since I lost my crush, it's just hard to think of anything good in my life, because I have so much good. So much to be thankful for, so much good. And really soon I'm gonna do a video, what I'm thankful for 2020. And for Thanksgiving. And I have a lot of good in my life, and a lot that I love about my life. I love social media. I love my friends and my family. I just love a lot in life. But I complain about it mostly because I just miss my crush, and that's really hard. And so it's not that I don't like my life, it's just that I complain about it because I miss my crush. Next question. We're getting near the end, I think. Do you have Okay. Do you do you have plans for dance? Yeah. Do you plan for dance? What's up with dance and merch? The answer is yes. I am working on flexibility. I am working on all sorts. Like, I'm essentially working on flexibility. I'm working on just being a better dancer, and I'm really just focused on that lately, and it's really been a lot of fun. And the thing about merch, coming soon. That I feel that saying, like, because I keep saying coming soon, and it truly isn't coming in like 4 or 5 months. I don't know how many months. But yeah, like, it really is just coming soon, and it really is based off of how fast I can save up like $65 or something like. And yeah, and I'm excited. Basically, here's the thing. And I don't know about sizes yet because I think so. I asked my sister, and my sister said her size was a large. Now, the issue with that is she didn't specify a kid's large, an adult's large. Like, she didn't specify that. And I'm doing all sorts of sizes. Well, we're starting with like 4, maybe 5. Now, if it's an adult large, then it works because I can use that size for a different size because I'm already doing an adult large because of my niece. So I gotta find out about that. But yeah, I don't have much to report. Next question. Is it worth it? Like, is social media worth it? Here's the thing. Yes and no. It can be worth it if you really have fun with it and you really understand that maybe you're not gonna be super big at first. But like, it's definitely worth it. Like, it can be worth it if you really enjoy it and you have fun with it. You do got to understand, like, even I learned that it is a job. It's an actual job. If you work hard at it and if you really show it and like, and if you hit enough subscribers or enough followers or something, you could potentially be paid, like a job. But that hard work is important, but what's also important is having fun. And we got one more question. It could be a 2-in-1 question. One thing that you hate about social media. What is one thing that you hate about social media? And the answer is one thing that I hate about social media. I don't really hate anything. I don't really hate anything about social media, but there are its flaws. And the final thing that I'm gonna say before I end this video is Andy Talks will be coming soon on my YouTube channel. I tried doing a YouTube podcast I loved it, but then I found a way to do an actual podcast. And then I basically started to. I posted like 2 podcasts. And then basically the thing happened where in order for me to get paid from it, which I was going to make 15 cents per view, 15 cents. Basically, it wasn't going to work out because they needed like a bunch of information. Like they needed like our phone number, which we don't mind. We put our phone numbers on things sometimes anyway. So that wasn't. They needed an email address, which my dad put in, and then they needed a bank account code. And since I don't have one, we didn't feel safe doing that because of the fact that like we don't know if they're gonna take money out of our bank account, and we can't afford that. So yeah, but now I'm back to YouTube podcast.